What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Today's vlog is going to be like a little recap of what is to come with regard to this 2 pounds in a brick extravaganza, as well as some Keto Brick updates for all you international customers and just updates in general. So I got a list so I don't forget anything. First thing I want to talk about is just kind of like the high level view of this whole 2 pounds in a brick thing. Actually, I did the high level view, the one that Danny and I were sitting at the cabin talking about it. Basically, as you saw in that video, it's us going back to basics, kind of simplifying our lives, getting more minimalistic with things, and not having to worry about tracking macros, finding a bunch of different types of foods, just sticking with what we know works and then dialing in on that so we can focus on other areas of our lives that require more attention, or should require more attention than food. So that's kind of like the big overarching motivation behind doing 2 pounds in a brick. And one person commented on a video or something, and they argued that, don't you think that the quality of food is better than anything you can buy that's prepackaged? 100% absolutely, totally agree with that, yes. I will be the first to tell you that a quality grass-fed steak with a side of asparagus and some duck fat on there is going to be more nutritionally dense than anything you can buy, Keto Brick included. However, I put quality on like a pedestal, like quality over quantity in everything I do in life. So I'm not knocking quality at all. Like, I promote quality over everything. However, if there's anything that you're trying to obtain in life, like if you're trying to reach another level with regard to your body composition, with regard to your career, with regard to anything, there's one thing that I may put on more of a pedestal than quality even, and that would be consistency. So consistency and discipline really kind of go hand in hand. For instance, like if I'm going to go through a competition prep and I'm dieting down for 5 months, I'm going to get leaner and look competitive, look like a professional bodybuilder based more so on my degree of consistency than I would on quality alone. Like if you took a person that didn't put any emphasis in consistency but ate nothing but the highest quality of foods, but then didn't do anything with consistency, they would not look show ready by the time it's time to step on stage. Whereas I could eat subpar ingredients, subpar quality foods, and have that consistency associated with a long-term goal like that, and I would look better by the end of it all. So you really need to find a balance and kind of like a meet in the middle with regard to quality and consistency. They both are required for the results you're looking for. For me, the Keto Brick is like a very high quality product. I mean, that's why we've kept it in house. Like when you outsource things and take it to like a big wholesale manufacturer, that's when they start putting in maltodextrin, because they don't care what goes into their product. They're trying to find the cheapest product or cheapest ingredients to put in there so they can pump out more and improve their margins. I don't want to do that. That's why we've kept the bricks in house. So the bricks are very, very high qualities. I mean, as far as prepackaged foods go, I would put the bricks up against anything because they're the highest quality you can get. That's why they're so expensive relative to honestly, they're not really that expensive calorie for calorie, but they're expensive compared to like other meal replacement bars out there that don't put as much of an emphasis towards quality. So that's not really, slacking much on the quality front. But it is very nutritionally dense and it is very convenient. So for me, with 2 pounds in a brick, if I can eat a high quality steak one meal, a high quality, pound of grass-fed beef one meal, and then a Keto Brick, and that pretty much completes my macros for the day, then I'm rock freaking solid on my quality and my consistency, and then I win at the end of the day, which is the goal anyways. So yeah, that's kind of like the whole premise behind why we're doing this in the first place. I honestly feel like if people can become more consistent and they can stick to a diet and lifestyle that's more sustainable for them, they're going to get so much more better and so much more closer towards whatever goal they have. So I've been talking for 5 minutes and I'm kind of going on a rant about consistency, but that really is true. Like, the more consistent you are with anything, obviously the better you're gonna be. So the Keto Brick is just a really good tool to make things more sustainable, more consistent, and just take away the variable of not knowing what you should eat and not having the means to prepare it. It's just simple, and simplicity is key. So enough of that. That's my whole quality versus consistency topic. I want to talk a little bit about what metrics I'm going to be tracking during this. So going back to my list here, I've got my weight. I was at 180 pounds when I woke up this morning. Today is the 31st. I think there's 31 days in December. I should definitely know this before getting on the video. But yeah, so tomorrow is the 1st. So I'm starting at about 180 pounds. I'm going to be not really monitoring my blood test that often, but I am going to, post whenever I get a blood test of like my, ketone, glucose readings, etc., etc. I am tracking my workouts right now, so I will be monitoring and updating y'all on my strength improvements, like volume lifted, any increase in weight that I'm pushing, etc., etc. I'm going to be tracking my sleep, and I'll post on that. I got a DEXA about a month ago, and I was 17.4% body fat. I'm gonna get another DEXA about 3/4 of the way through January, and I'll let you know how that is impacted by just simply eating 2 pounds of meat in a brick. And then Crystal, the sweetheart that she is, she got me the Aura ring for Christmas. It's getting shipped to me in a few weeks, so whenever we get that, I'll start tracking data with that as well. Macros. Macros, so the beauty of 2 pounds in a brick is you don't really have to track your macros. Like, you figure out initially what protein intake, what fat intake you're kind of shooting for, and then you just eat 1 pound of meat or 1.5 pounds of meat or 2 pounds, 2.5, 3 pounds of meat, whatever you need based off of that goal. So me personally, I'm going to be having 2 pounds in a brick, and that's going to consist of 1 full keto brick, which is obviously 1,000 calories, 1 16-ounce ribeye that I get from US Wellness Meats. That I track my ribeyes as equal parts protein and fat, so it's going to be 100 grams of protein, 100 grams of fat. And then I'm also going to have 1 pound of 75/25 ground beef, which I also get from US Wellness Meats, and that is going to be 72 grams of protein and 100 grams of fat, which means my macros for the day during this entire month of January are going to be 3,624 calories, 289 grams of fat, 202 grams of protein, and 15 grams of carbs, of which 12 are fiber, all coming from the brick, which is going to put me at a 74.9, so basically a 75% fat ratio, which is pretty good. And that's honestly the beauty of this. Like, you can eat 1 pound of meat or 3 pounds of meat, and as long as you're getting a fattier cut of meat, like, I wouldn't recommend doing this with like a chicken breast or like, tilapia, but if you're getting a fatter cut of meat like a beef or something like that, you're going to be pretty close to those macro ratios. So again, you don't have to track your macros. I'm going to be taking a screenshot of my macros every day and putting that on my Instagram story, because 1, I'm terrible about Instagram stories, and that'll give me something to put on there, and 2, because that'll just make sure that I'm being consistent and kind of held reliable and accountable by y'all by making sure that I'm posting something on there and obviously eating those foods. I'm also going to be taking progress pics throughout this experiment deal, so let's go ahead and give you an update on that now. And for future reference, these photos were taken cold, without a pump, in my Lucky Brand little bare face boxers. All right, back from that. So a few other housekeeping things here. Tomorrow is the 1st. We're gonna be doing our Keto Brick launch tomorrow at noon Central Standard Time. We're gonna be releasing the new flavor, which is cookies and cream crunch, which is proudly named by none other than AD Keto. If you haven't followed him on YouTube, definitely give him a follow. He's an awesome dude, and he's been great for us, just with support and everything. So I gave him the honor of naming this Keto Brick flavor because I appreciate what all he's done, not only for us, but for the keto space as a whole. So thanks a million, brother. Thanks a million, brother. I appreciate it, and I love the name. Yeah, so 12 noon tomorrow, Central Standard Time, the bricks will launch. Since this is a new flavor and we're kind of running a test batch out on it, we didn't make a whole bunch of them. So I'm only gonna offer the new flavor in the singles and in the week's worth supply. I am going to offer the 2-week supply and the month supply, but those will be in the original mocha flavor. If this flavor goes well and y'all like it, which I think you will, this is my favorite flavor thus far, then we'll obviously make more of them and then offer them in the larger quantities. But this is just gonna be the singles and the week's worth in the keto, or in the cookies and cream crunch, and then 2 weeks worth and 1 month worth are gonna be in the mocha. I've also worked on the shipping a little bit, so for all of you international customers, I've tried to decrease the shipping rates. Basically what was happening before is everything was defaulting to whatever the most expensive international shipping would be, which, like for Australia, for instance, is very expensive. So even if we were shipping to Canada, which is a much cheaper shipping option, it would price it as what it would cost to ship to Australia, which obviously is not very fair for y'all Canadians. So I got that fixed because we had enough data from 2018 to get in touch with my USPS contact. They hooked us up with better international shipping rates based off of our volume for this year. So that's in effect now. We're probably still going to tweak that as we go and kind of refine things with the more data we get. But needless to say, if you're in Canada or a closer neighboring country than Australia, you're going to get a better shipping rate option. And yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to say for this video. Kind of running along as it is. Hope you enjoy the 2 pounds in a brick. Hope you enjoy the new flavor. Hope you enjoy 2019. It's gonna be a great year. I'm super excited about it. Y'all are super excited about it, I'm sure. It's gonna be good. I'm very eager to get things rolling. There's a lot that's gonna happen. Crystal and I did a video yesterday about just kind of some of the stuff that we've got excited about. You know, we're excited about moving forward, and 2019 is gonna be on fire, y'all, so get ready. But that said, hope you enjoy this. Join us with the 2 pounds in a brick. I'd love to get as many of y'all involved as possible so we can see what the results are. Danny Vega and I are stoked about it. Yeah, so we'll see you tomorrow. Happy New Year, and catch you then.